Hey, this is Jupiter Exile, and we're back to Bloodborne BL4. I have found, by checking in on some of my older videos that I was working on editing, that my Bloodborne content has actually got a little bit of audio delay in a lot of them, and in some of them actually a little bit of an echo as well. And there are two factors that are causing this, and I can't think or figure out how to fix them. One of them is that the video and audio, both coming off of the same capture card, are just coming out delayed. And I've tested that and taken a look at it. The capture card alone by itself is producing a delay. And I have no idea how to fix that unless I tried to split it into two sources and do some other weird stuff. I don't know how to fix it in post even, because whatever I say just into the microphone doesn't have a delay. That source is fine. It's just the capture card. And I don't know yet if that was affecting my Metroid gameplay the other day. I'm gonna have to check on that, or if it's just a PS4 thing. And then the other issue is getting an echo, and that's happening because my microphone is picking up some of the game audio, since the game audio is not going right to my head. And let's see, I could theoretically fix that by getting my headset to be the output device for the PlayStation. But because my headset is also my microphone, I can't really get away with that. Okay, now I'm at the tough part of the fight. Or almost. Because I thought he was going to be in the Phase 2 behavior for that, but it didn't happen. Yeah, he's definitely in Phase 2. Figures the first Phase 2 type thing he actually does is one of the really difficult to deal with fall on me attacks. And only after walking me across the arena. I did not have enough room left to stay away from that. Which I think is like the core issue with this fight right now, is just managing space during Phase 2. So I'm at the point where I understand most of his moves pretty well, except for a few of the fall on me attacks. And I think generally speaking, the pattern of those is kind of that I can go out and to the right, and most of those will miss. So, I've got no idea what to do regarding the editing problems for this. I just need to get past Bloodborne, so I don't have to worry about them anymore. Because I took a look at Dark Souls 3, and Dark Souls 3 is not having the same problems, because it's just coming off the PC. It's a capture card-centric issue. About the capture card and it's about the audio. it's all about the audio, but it's about the capture card and it's about the echo, which could be fixed if I was listening to this differently. Stay out of that one entirely for this phase. I'm just going to move past him for that. That one. There. We're in the second phase. Got an absurd number of parts breaks that was difficult to keep up with. Back up a little bit. Yeah, he's regenerated everything. Ah. Okay, so yeah, him healing is not an opportunity I can take to attack. Yeah, so I'm thinking for every parts break, take an R1, L1. And I happen to even crack him in the head and get like the full critical after doing that too. We had him at a solid 50% without dealing with a lot of actual phase 2 behaviors because we had that really long string of parts breaks. I get the feeling that if I were actually playing with buffs, that we would have put him into phase 3 or very, very close with that kind of string. I want to be getting into and primarily working on phase 3. So we've seen phase 3. Jumping is not a defensive maneuver. Soothing sound of Gregorian chants, punctuated by a screaming man on fire. Space, there we go. dang it. I was trying to go out for the third dodge. I just didn't get the timing quite right. It's a little late. And that's just our standard 1, 2, 3 rhythm. Yeah, so I think I've already given up on the quality of the streams for this particular excursion to to Bloodborne, because I know now, after several hours, I would care more about fixing this about 4 bosses ago, maybe before I had done the Old Hunters DLC. But at this point, I just want to be done with the game, and I want to accept whatever flaws I have in the recording and move on. I don't know what it... I think what it is that I changed is I moved over and I incorporated the camera, and now I'm closer to the source of the audio, which is causing the echo. The delay has been there all along. Has not really been mentioned to me. And it's not clear to me while I'm playing, for the most part. I had to look for it to find it. But you definitely only hear each of my, like, attacking sounds a moment after I've finished attacking. Punches. Don't be stingy. Ah, explain it. Thank you. Burned. Take 4 slashes since he kept going while he was on the ground. That's the extra long lunge, the grab attempt. Healed up. Dang it. Let's see. Hello. Okay, that was mostly good until it wasn't. I have to farm for vials soon, but I think I can do one more attempt before I go after blood vials. Oh, I actually also have new emotes for subscribers. It is the first time they should be working. So I just got the notice from Twitch that they were approved a bit earlier. It's just little like things in my face. Okay, gonna go farm. Yeah, I have them. Get maximum impact out these Menzies pigs. Those guys. Here, next one. Not in the mood for backstab to work. All right. we go. I wish the DLC had a more effective way of doing this. But oh well. C'est la vie. Now we've got blood vials for days. And weapon repairs. Oh, and I missed a drop. More blood vials. Yay. That's what we like to see. So apparently, here in Virginia, where I'm at, we're supposed to get hit by another gigantic bout of snow tonight. We got hit earlier this week. Made me unable to drive into work. Oh no. But more seriously, I had a friend get stuck on I-95. So that was awful. And hopefully everybody will be home safe and all that stuff. I'm set up with mostly appropriate provisions. I don't have as many spices in the house as I would like. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, the pigs are reliable, for sure. Yeah, Chalice Dungeon farming is really rough. Get more screen real estate to the chat. There we go. Make it look less weird on my end. Mumble, 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 mumble. This will be unintelligible in the future. Yeah. Don't shoot me. Yeah. No! Anything but this. I have a torch. Leave me alone. Oh man, that other one jumped at me even though I had a torch. He didn't care. Alright, let's try to get beat up less. Less beaten up. Oh, whiffed my transform. Nicking me on the backside. Heartbreak opening is actually a lot worse than some of the openings that are triggering it. So I'm losing damage on Heartbreaks more often than I'm gaining it. Okay, yeah, he would backclaw me because we're in second phase now pretty definitively. So for second phase, we just let that attack play out. And then we get super jumped on. The pain in the neck. And that's like a delayed type of leap, too. I might want to go back to trying to exploit close quarters loops. It's just really difficult to actually keep my guard up during those. I use the roll-through method on that guy for a while so I don't get shotgun blasted. Not getting blasted. There we go. Nice and clean. That was no good. Not much to say about that last attempt. I think the big difference, it's making me struggle so much in Bloodborne. In the Dark Souls DLCs, there are like a whole bunch of items that make you actually stronger when it comes time to fight those bosses. I tripped on his leg. Bloodborne gives you very little when you reach the DLCs. The only thing I've gotten that's made me any stronger are the blood gems that have gotten me like 12% more attack power. Compared to a Dark Souls game where you can hit the DLCs and you'll suddenly jump by like 20 stat points. So they'll jump you up to be a level 20 character by virtue of those items. Here, we are still pretty much a waste of skin. We haven't even gotten any new runes, the entire time we've been in the DLC. Yeah, no new runes. Not getting new weapons is fairly normal, although when you're playing Dark Souls 2, when you hit the DLC and you get the Vessel Shield, you get to change your weapon very substantially, get a nice big boost. Dark Souls 1 DLC doesn't really give you an advantage over the base game, but you're very strong for the base game because you're, although you're SL1, you have like 12 strength, which is the highest baseline strength you get for these runs. Oh my goodness, whiffed 2 of those attacks in my opening set. Finally, a basic attack. Fall over. That's good. I wasn't actually dead the first hit. I thought I was. This damage is really inconsistent. Yeah, I think my only real complaint about this fight so far, like, I have 2 complaints about this boss that I think stick after fighting the boss and learning some things. I think the arena is annoyingly small, and they do that to you all the time. It's just another one of those times where you get annoyingly small arena. And it's only annoyingly small because the boss likes to linebacker tackle you from across the entire arena. But even if, I don't care if he wants to tackle me. I think that's like ultimately fair game. The thing I don't like, the second thing I don't like, is he's got a lot of 2-part hitboxes that like simultaneously hit you with 2 different little portions of hitbox. And as a result, he does pretty inconsistent damage. I thought I was completely away from that guy. Like, I've never seen him cover that much ground for that attack in particular. Dying on the run back is a pain. Wonder if I can filter for echo specifically on the mic. That's coming through. Maybe there's a filter that will capture similar sounds. I've already got a noise suppression filter to filter out like small background noises. Not knowing what those would be most of the time. filters. Maybe like a gain filter? Noise gate? Yeah, I think I need a gain filter or a noise gate to stop the echoing. It's a little tricky because I have to be at a point in the game where a loud sound is happening in order to actually test out the filter, which is mostly boss fights. Okay, third thing I don't like about the boss is that the opening he gives for parts break is pretty small. You should not have circumstances where I hit stun the boss and become less safe. Like here, I have to run out of this very much because I still need to heal. And he almost always comes out of the part break with 3 swings. It's a fairly dangerous attack. Strings of movement are like so dangerous. I can't go in on that. I was a little too far back. It's like a whole bunch of stuff that's really difficult for me to dodge that gets me nothing. Ugh. Yeah, he's responding in a really nasty way, even to my most basic, like, punishes. Learning to dodge that free stream was so important. Okay. Slash. 3, 4, 5, 6. At least the window on that's not bad. hit already. Jesus. Whew! Ugh. I was sweating that phase so much. Like it's palpable. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. That's like the second time I've seen that phase. So phase 3 is really, really simple compared to phase 2. Whew. Okay. 2 bosses left. Just 2. Huh. Let's see if we can end the nightmare tonight. Because the remaining bosses are not as hard as that. Okay. The next boss is Gehrman. This is going to be very tough. I did one peek at Gehrman earlier so that I could grab insight. Because I was really desperate for buffs. Yeah, we've got a lot to figure out regarding Gehrman. So he's got a like step-in combo, he's got a little grab thingy, he's got what looks like a triple slash combo with a step in the middle. I mean, I haven't even gotten to the point of like learning his trick weapon or his buffs or anything like that. It's a very, very big fight for trying to learn counters, or trying to use counters. I don't think he gives me good backstab setups. Yeah, we're going to hammer in a ton of blood vials. Don't get hit by that. I wonder if locking onto him is ideal. That is a good question. I was really dreading this fight in terms of the BL4 run. This is basically the most dangerous versus Hunter fight that I'm aware of. I need to loosely figure out if there's anything he does that actually steps him past me. I think he's pretty much locked on to me. Let's try and observe a bit longer. I think if I step forward on that, I might get something good. Okay. So when he's got the scythe on his back like that, I need to back off, I think. I need to not approach for that attack. So that was about at the end of the 4 combo where he jumped. I think if I unlock roll through, I might be able to get a backstab off. If there's a backstab opportunity that I've seen so far, that'd have to be it. And I'd really like to find backstab opportunities. Because I have no idea what my route to victory is on this fight. just enough time to react to that after getting hit. Okay. His attacks cause a lot of camera havoc. I think I'm going to have to try fighting him unlocked, even if he's very, very fast, because I'm just getting my camera yoinked around a bunch when he winds up diving past me or things like that, and that's not going to be sustainable. The Dark Souls camera, at least at the time Bloodborne was created, was not created for enemies that moved this quickly. Let's see, I may also need to try some... counter setups. Okay, yeah, that's a slow double slash. Very nasty customer about only giving me one hit at a time. I think it's just kind of the nature of Gehrman. Hey, if this works, it works. Let's see how long we can keep it up. Yeah, not that long. This is only the phase 1 behavior as well, so whatever I figure out here is not necessarily going to get me through phase 2. I'm thinking my best bet on him. He doesn't have a big health pool. If I figure out some counterattack timings, that could work very well. So let's try counterattacking. I've been watching his attacks enough to learn some of his attack timings. I should mention, reaching this point, we've already got the any percent clear. Yeah, anytime I trade hits, it's going to be a big bummer. I cannot recover in time to visceral him. Oh, Gehrman's not necessary for any percent, because when you first go to talk to Gehrman, you can technically tell him, yeah, go ahead and kill me, and that actually takes you into New Game Plus. That is considered the canonical bad ending, which is acceptable for any percent completion. Then there's the neutral ending where you kill Gehrman, and true ending where you kill Gehrman and fight and kill the Moon Presence. We're going for all bosses, which requires the Moon Presence. Yeah, I'm really trying to figure out how to get the rhythm without doing what I was doing earlier and just walking in and out of every single attack. It's just a very tedious way of getting to phase 2. I mean, he's even got a call out for each of his attack timings that would theoretically help counter him. Let me try with the shotgun. The shotgun has a better counter hit window. At least better for me. I don't know why I was able to dodge out of that earlier, but not in that case. Might be that he chose a different follow-up the time that I was able to avoid. Yeah, gotta watch out for the neck grabber. At least we have a nice, quick, peaceful boss run. Rude. Oh, it should be noted, sometimes the slanted terrain makes him do weird, annoying stuff. Of course it does. The number of big climactic fights in Dark Souls games that occur on like weird slopes is truly baffling to me. Some guy just thinks like gradual hills are the most epic thing. Healing is hard on Gehrman. He doesn't have a lot of downtime. I could move further away from him and have a better time, but audio's ahead of the video. I was seeing the opposite problem. You sure the video's not ahead of the audio? Let's see, because well, that's not. That doesn't make enough noise. Curly, I think it's the other way around, but it's difficult for me to test unless I have something breakable nearby. And I can't watch the audio feed while I'm in the middle of a fight. I've been checking recordings, and I have a problem where the video runs ahead, but it's based on the capture card. I have not been able to figure out a way to fix it. Yeah, okay. I need to figure out how to differentiate that attack. Couldn't dodge through the second swing. I think I would have to be on his left. Sometimes this guy's attack patterns are trolly. He just loves to get you. Okay. Transform mode, a lot harder to deal with. Now it's just blade and gun. Yeah, that's what I found too. I think it's with the capture card, because I was looking at the PS4 stuff, and whatever I'm recording on the PS4 does that. But when I'm looking at my Dark Souls 3 content recorded from the PC, it doesn't do that. Problem I have with Dark Souls 3 on the PC that I need to fix, the music going to my headset is too loud, so I find that every time I run into a boss, I'm shouting. Which is not the worst thing. It's not like horrible shouting, but I'm definitely like 5 decibels louder or something. Or maybe not that much, but I'm a good bit louder when I'm dealing with a boss in Dark Souls 3, which is funny. That's a wash, let that go. Yeah, so I have no idea how to correct that, because there's... Um, maybe if I put it in... I'm using Streamlabs. Maybe if I put in the capture card as an audio source, and then I mute the audio from the desktop. Let's see if I can do that. I have to input something new. Audio. Here's a viable audio source. Yes, it does. So what if we do that? And then... What is it? Testing. Did I click test? I thought I just clicked OK. Is it in the list now? Okay, it's in the list. So I'm going to set that back by about a similar offset, and then I'm going to mute this one. Let's try it with this setting, and I'm going to see if it works better. Let's see, am I losing anything with this? I don't think so. So if this works, then the only problem I've got is the very low. Let me see. I'll tweak that in a sec. Okay, well now I'm dead. Was that low the entire time? Let me try boosting it a little bit. Okay, now it's only at a minus 11. The metering looks very good from my side for the game audio, but I can't quite tell the timing. Oh, did I have a filter on this? No, I didn't have any filters on it. So, let me see. I would think if it was coming in very, very low, then you would just be hearing the echo coming into my microphone, which is unfortunate. Right. He's going to do a follow-up after the neck breaker. I can't always discern when he's going to take a step forward in his combo. Okay, he can just choose to stand there and do a counter thing. Noted. Is it the same? Any better? Any still quiet? Don't leave me hanging. Ah, that's all right. Sound any better now in terms of the level? I'll be fighting the boss in a second. He makes a lot of loud noises. If the timing is still the problem, then I'll remove that extra source and just go the way it was. Because if the timing's still a problem with this, then I literally don't think I can fix it. Yeah. Tagged. Gehrman is a huge jerk about, like, having these big sudden step-ins. Just like everything else in the game that has huge range. Okay, so it's quiet and desynced. That tells me, even though I'm seeing the metering on the capture, you're not getting it at all. So let me just do this. So with this, it should just be the desync problem, because I'd rather have it quiet than I'd rather have it desynced than desynced and too quiet. I'm assuming you're getting my voice clearly either way, and it's just the game itself that is the problem. Let me get back to trying to actually learn this guy. Whatever, just take a death. I don't want to deal with the first, like, taking a hit before I've hurt him. Yeah, because it's coming through the headset. It's the capture card. The capture card is just creating this problem, and I don't know what to do about it. Because it's not like there's a setting in the capture card that says, like, fix audio delay. This also means that on the recording, I can't break up the recording tracks and adjust the audio track, because then I'd have weirdness in what I'm saying. Yeah, I can check the drivers for it and see if there's anything newer. I'm not going to do that during the stream, though. Yeah, this is a nicer one too than the one I first had. Like the one I let you borrow before is crummy compared to this. This is like a big old guy. It's not like inbuilt to the computer though, which is the next level I can go to, is an actual riser card that takes HDMI input. But the actual riser card solution I think is like 5 times as expensive as what I'm using right now. This guy is going to make me chug so many blood vials. I can't dodge that twice before he executes the second attack. Rolling past him might have been better. Yeah. Let's see. I couldn't find a setting in OBS to really deal with it. I don't know. This definitely seems to work for the first phase. Okay, Gehrman phase 2. I think the solution for this phase is about keeping my distance until he commits to a certain something. I might be able to get him to swing past me with this phase. Oh, he just charges that much distance. Okay. Yeah, a roll is going to go into a shotgun blast. It's pretty standard. Okay. Yeah, his shotgun blast is going to do a weirdly massive amount of damage. I don't think I'll ever be able to hit him with a charged R2. A lot of people talk about using just OBS. Yeah, I am using a few of the pretty features right now. Like I've got an integrated chat bot, some things like that. I also need to see if the settings will export, because if not, I'm gonna have to take like a day, because I've got maybe 6 or 7 different scenes for a lot of the different things I'm capturing. Because I'm not just using desktop capturing things. So once he steps away is when I can heal. If there's one where I can get behind him, that's probably the one. It's got less delay than the double cut. Please no, not like this in a random corner. Okay, that's marginally better than the corner death. Oh, you can still use the Streamlabs website for that? Huh. I had thought they were based off of the same technology. I mean, that's what OBS is. It's open broadcasting software, right? I think so. Okay. Let's see. So phase 2, I think, is pretty simply solved. We just stay unlocked, we move in and out. We do move faster unlocked. And we're just getting 1 or 2 hits in between each attack, while we occasionally take hits because the step-ins are sometimes really big. Taking that knockdown was not fun, but he didn't follow it up with anything too fast, so we don't die. That's nice. Keeping my distance means I don't need to worry about neckbreaker attacks. It's just a really simple way to get through this phase. He's mostly happy to just do this little loop until this happens. That ends with a gunshot. Right. Okay, that's his long melee sequence. I just need to walk up on that, I think, and give him an R2. Well, give him a light hit. Or I need to wait until he finishes and then hit him after the shotgun blast. But I need to dodge the shotgun blast. It's immediately lethal at that range. When I was first getting set up, I moved back and forth between OBS and Streamlabs. I think I wound up uninstalling OBS to not confuse myself by having 2 softwares, but yeah, don't get hit by a neckbreaker. So I'm getting to his trick weapon phase very routinely. I believe he's got a 3rd phase where he also uses a hunter tool and speeds up. But I don't remember if I have to handle that any differently. From what I recall about phase 2, it's just going to be a whole lot of like quick stepping in this really fast dance around him, because he doesn't turn around super fast. and then he's going to do a whole bunch of crazy stuff afterwards. That attack has an absurd step in. So it's the second part of a 3-attack combo that will just jolt him forward super far. And I'm pretty sure that one is tracking to me. If I roll behind it, I think he'll do another strike anyway. Honestly though, as I was saying before, the problem, because it's a problem with the capture card, I need to figure out if it's affecting Metroid. If it's not affecting Metroid, then it's just a problem with like the PS4 capture. And then that only applies to this game, which I'll theoretically be done with in 2 bosses. If it also applies to Metroid, I'm probably going to play more of that, and then I want to get a setup that works for it. And I might just use Streamlabs for everything on the desktop and just only set up a scene for the Switch if the truth is that Streamlabs is creating this issue with Switch games, or the capture card is creating this issue with Switch games that I need the OBS to offset. Depending on what it is. We'll have to figure it out. Okay, let's see. We've got a decent crowd for this time of the day. Thank you, guys. Right, that's the same attack combo. He got me with the old 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, technically I could also keep going in Chalice Dungeons after I've finished with Gehrman and the Moon Presence, but I'm not gonna. They're really annoying. Really annoying. But, theoretically, there's, like, Bloodborne has a lot of completion percentages. So there's the any percent, all bosses, and then you can do, like, all bosses, including the challenge, which is even crazier. Please go into your standard behavior loop. Same one I've been using before. Oh, he actually jumps back as well for the 3rd attack. It's a full-blown tracking 3-hit combo. Fun, fun. Please stay out of the flowers so I can see you more clearly. Great. The Field of Flowers effect is pretty cool, but wow, it's hard to look at. That'll kill me. It's funny because, like, I understand more and more of his timings, but I'm still not super into the idea of trying to counter him. Partially because gun countering is more persnickety than parries. There's a lot of cases where I land a gun counter but also take the hit. I'm not a fan of that. Oh, funny thing, I looked this up before, because I didn't want to be annoyed by it later. The blood gems that I'm using right now, they're cursed blood gems, they have a detriment. The detriment they have is lower damage versus kin. Kin generally refers to eldritch creatures. The Moon Presence, The most eldritch creature is not considered a kin type creature. It does not have that problem. I had to check to make sure if I would have to change my blood vial, blood gems. And the answer is apparently no. I guess I'm good on that. I'm starting to feel like it's better for me to just take the second hit of that chaser combo because it's easier for me to dodge the third hit. Dodged too early. And I say dodged too early, it's not like there's a telegraphed thing I can dodge there. It's just like a weird cadence. I basically just want to be behind him at all times during that second phase, from what I understand. So I haven't been countering his scythe hits, and his sword attacks are even harder to counter. I think Gehrman has a design similarity with a lot of other hunter scale fights in this game. I think they're designed to feel epic more than they are designed to feel fair. So it's designed to kind of naturally include or assume a lot of hit trades. These fights are not built with the intent that you could dodge all of the attacks. They're almost built to go against that. So these guys don't have big telegraphs like monsters do. They do somewhat less damage. But from our perspective, it's still more than enough. Certainly from a full build character, you could just slam into Gehrman and just try to rally through him. As long as you don't get hit by that. I might have to watch some theory on this fight to have a better idea of how to handle later phases without having to slog through this first phase until I eventually learn it. I'm concerned that I could be stuck here for a very, very long time if I just try to figure it out myself, because it's not built in an intuitive way. And when I say it's not built in an intuitive way, I think, for instance, Slave Knight Gale is intuitive. Because he doesn't fight like a person, he fights like a monster. Gehrman continually teleports behind you. He doesn't fight in a way that's remotely fair. Let me check on something. He's got 2 phases. Yeah. Scythe form phase. Keep your distance, walk in and out to bait. Only do a few things. 3-hit combo. We track you, outspace or quick step. Okay, it just recommends parrying the second one. Yeah, that's fine. Trick attack, transform, transform. Yep. Scythe pull. Slash, you can parry if he jumps over your head. You can theoretically backstab him as he lands. Dodge away and not into it, or you get hit behind him. You faster or longer. The first one you want to outspace and parry the down slash. Yeah. Okay, parries is basically the biggest recommendation. Then the curved sword form. Yeah, quick step diagonally through. Sometimes you get randomly shot. React to the shot. There's no trick for it. Okay, yeah, that's a thing. He dashes away very quickly. Yep, 1 or 2 hit attacks. And sometimes he can dash away and shoot you. Shoot him during his big long combo. Then he does the transition, hyper armor. You can backstab him for a bunch of damage. That's good. It's very good. Okay, yada yada. Spam quick step backwards on that. Okay, and then that's a punish that comes with the thing. Alright, so we basically just have to get good at parrying, is what I'm seeing here. At least that's the best way to get through the first phase, and then the second phase. I mean, I was kind of correct about a lot of my handling. That was the tracking, but he stopped it early. That's death. Charge attack's still pretty vicious. Let's see. Got about another hour and a half that I'd like to be at this, and then I think I'm going to move along for the day, even if we're not done. Even though we're very close to being done. I don't usually like to do more than 3 hours on a Thursday. Visceral for my health back, thank you. So I needed to either dodge that back a third time, or I needed to dodge forward on the jump over. Missed the gunshot. Missed the gunshot again. And now I'm dead. I'm waiting too long for the gunshot on some of those follow-ups because he's throwing out just one attack sometimes. And I don't want to waste it, I guess. It's not that much of a waste if I shoot him, but it does mean that he will reset his behavior. Which could make him do something a lot more dangerous. Not get it fixed. Setting. Okay, yeah, that's stream track, record track. You know, switching over programs and making a fresh start on some of my settings would probably be good, now that I have a better understanding of what I'm going for anyway. So I think I've got some lingering sources that don't even need to be here. Yeah, I've got like 2 or 3 things that don't need to be in the listing. I think it might be making my recordings larger than they need to be. Ah. The file size on my average recording right now is like 30 gigabytes. And that's the recordings that come directly from Streamlabs OBS. So I think they're doing some weird stuff. I can remove a couple of these theoretical sources because I'm not using those devices anymore. Okay, yeah. No, that's the... Wait, what's this? That is weird. I don't have that showing at all. Let's remove that. It'd be great if I removed one of these and it turns out that was what was causing the echo, but I know all these things I'm removing have been muted a long time ago. I probably don't want to dodge into him for that. So I think for the neck breaker, I need at least 2 backsteps, maybe more. One for the neck breaker itself, one for the follow-up. I'm pretty sure if I dodge an actual attack of his, he'll go into a charge animation most of the time. Okay, dodging through him is getting me hit by the late part of the attack. So I can't dodge through him on that once he's jumped in. No, I interrupted him there and he went for a backstep. Okay, so that's a much slower option I was thinking of using. That's where I die because of shotgun, also because I tried to heal. The wall was messing me up pretty badly there. No matter what happens for this fight tonight, I took out Laurence, so we're already ahead of the curve. I don't think there's a better way of beating this fight other than kind of being honest about it, just handling it in a good way. I mean, that's all it comes down to, really. I think I understand his Phase 1 stuff pretty well by now. Mostly. Understanding it doesn't mean I beat it. Don't dodge into that. So, looking out here, you can see myriad other towers. They're reminiscent of the arch trees from Dark Souls 1. There's, for whatever reason, there's a different linchpin to the world. A peculiar thought. That the arch trees and the nature of roots and things like that is somehow a necessary part of the Dark Souls world, or an underpinning. But here instead, there are these towers, which I believe are like the Healing Church towers or something like that. It's from a tower descent that we find our way into the other copy of the Hunter's Dream, where we can find a portion of the 1/3 of umbilical cord. And we can't backstab that twice. If we're that close, we're taking a hit. Yeah, dodging into that is not working at all. So we need to stop doing it. I think if I unlock, I might be able to roll behind it. It's something about being straight on, which is causing me to take that hit, I think. Oh, I forgot while Curly was in here to show off the emotes. Dang. Presuming he's not here anymore. I'm gonna go back through streams editing at some point, and I'm gonna realize that Curly tried to tell me, like, weeks ago that I had an audio problem, and I didn't get it fixed. And I'll be sitting here saying, why did nobody tell me I had an audio problem, when in fact I was told. That'll be the way of it. Guy's such a punk about the openings being so short. You can get one attack per opening and then he just backsteps. I gotta find something bigger. Even if it's just really opportune. Alright, I need to figure out the counters. He stopped using the tracking attack mostly. I'm getting one tracking attack per fight tops. That is the one I wanted to practice against the most. So that's the one that pays me off with the parry when I defend correctly. I mean, that's the attack. I didn't get the gun out. I think I need to outspace the first attack to have time to fire the gun at the second attack. If I backstep while he's doing the first attack, or if I take the hit, I don't think I have time to pull out the gun. The second attack happens really fast. Glad I avoided that. I didn't think I had. Okay, got hit by that one. I appear to be cornered. That's better. Anytime I only trade, I'm going to take the visceral if I can. If I do better than a trade, there's a better punishment to take. Shoot. Bad counter. Theoretically, the best punish after I get the counter is not the visceral, it's dodge, transform, transform. So if you transform coming out of a dodge, it will trigger the trick attack. And those attacks hit pretty hard considering how long they take to pull off. I think every transform attack deals 1.3 times attack damage, which is very high. So long as my timing is mediocre, I'll take the visceral. It will save me on healing vials. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I think everything in Bloodborne takes place within a nightmare. We're here in the Hunter's Dream. We're caught between the Hunter's Dream and the Eternal Night of Yharnam. And then we explore other nightmares along the way. We face the Amygdala, secret keepers who ensconce people away in Nightmare when they draw too close to truth. Okay, so a very early gunshot works against that follow-up. Yeah, okay, traded the shot there. I need to go to the stream view so that I can see what my death looks like. Oh wow, that's a massive delay. Okay. Looks like he's barely able to hit me with that. Looks like it starts in pretty late. The fact that I'm trading shots with that particular attack is unnerving. Heal up. And dead. Didn't matter. Throwing out a heal does not matter much if I put myself in neckbreaker range. And neckbreaker range is oddly long sometimes. I have a harder time judging the distance when unlocked, actually, when locked on, actually. It's easier to judge when unlocked. But if I'm unlocked, I can't get these counter shots off. And they seem pretty important to having a good, clean Phase 1. Maybe important to having a good, clean Phase 2. I mean, Phase 2 I'm already fighting locked on. Come on, do a thing. Most unfortunate thing about this fight is that the area I actually enjoy fighting him in is still like 1/4 of the arena. So all of this place is visually noisy and it's not flat. And it's really weird and difficult to adjust to some of the things about this. I mean, it's the reality of the circumstance, but it's a pain in the neck. Gwyn has pretty much a flat arena, like a flat bowl. Soul of Cinder has a nice flat arena. Nashandra has a flat arena. Gale's arena is not flat, but they make sure to flatten it out for Phase 2. They put you in the flat part of the arena once he phase changes. So when he goes into a charge attack during my punish, I'm almost always going to be hit by the second one of those. I don't know what to do about that yet. I can't get out the gun between the dodge. Maybe if I buffer a gunshot. Let's get that off the floor. Phase 2 is really exhausting. Because he's going to backstep and maneuver and do all kinds of stuff, and one shotgun blast is lethal. I just need him to get into a very basic movement loop that lets me get one hit at a time, and I basically need to one hit at a time chip him down. Right, tracking. That's the one where I need to buffer a gunshot. Or that's the setup where I think what I need to do is buffer a gunshot. So he just armors through, and I can only dodge one of those two attacks. Unless there's a dodge pattern that puts me out of range of both of those, I think it's just going to track onto me. The first dodge I'm doing, I'm dodging correctly most of the time, and then the tracking is getting me. Taking one of those hits isn't lethal, but I don't like losing blood vials every time he does that attack. Plus it puts me on the defensive, and I have to deal with that for whatever pattern's coming next. I'm going to go back to an unlocked first phase. I'm mostly handling it better. I missed a counter opportunity there, but I missed a counter opportunity and took the hit. If I don't take the hit but I miss the counter, I'm not going to lose sleep over that. I need to check the weather for when the snow is falling. If anybody in Virginia knows when, feel free to chime in. If it's not starting until midnight, I'm thinking about going out to see some friends, maybe get some last-minute shopping done before the snow sets in. Oh, I actually got him there. That's good. Sort of. I think the neck breaker has a longer stagger if I'm facing away from him. Sometimes after I get hit with the neck breaker, I can hammer on circle and dodge out. Something else to take a look at. I think I got that new rune. Beast's Embrace. And I got Milkweed. Huh. Okay. Milkweed actually has a small item discovery. That's cool. That should probably be my walking around rune from now. not as though it matters. I got that rune by killing Orphan, of course, so, you know, how about one of the last bosses in the game gives you a rune that gives you slightly more blood vials dropped from enemies. Okay, so dodging through is not protecting me from that either. Noted. I really have to do this unlocked. It feels so much better. I'm having a very hard time understanding his ranges when I'm locked on. Well, I need to do a trip for blood vials, so let me do that. I'm gonna change out the rune first. Oh yeah, this makes us look like broccoli. There's also another effect of that. As a note, the Beast's Embrace also gives us a different looking effect. So, these are some kind of cool, these are your late game swag, basically. Yeah. What does that actually change our discovery to? It's listed as 113. I think our base is 110. No, we're getting 10 discovery. A 10% boost is not nothing, so we'll keep it. I believe we still retain the properties of our armor despite looking like a piece of broccoli. Although the cosmetics of our character, who kind of looks like the Count from Sesame Street, are now completely obscured. For shame. That. A couple of blood vials and other stuff. I think the extra item discovery would be very convenient if I did find myself running more Chalice dungeons. Which is something I was thinking I might idly do offline at some point. I don't know. I'm pretty tired of the game. After all this strife with the DLC. It's just so much less friendly than Dark Souls 2 or Dark Souls 3 DLC. But that's alright. I can get those souls back, no problem. Blood Echoes. The Dark Souls 1 DLC I see is fundamentally different from the 2 or 3 DLC. I think the Dark Souls 1 DLC and the way the bosses are designed are just bringing the game up to speed with the way Dark Souls is supposed to be, because the baseline in Dark Souls 1 is not fast enough. It is notably slow. Even the theoretically more chaotic fights of Ornstein and Smo are still quite slow. I'm sure plenty of people don't want to hear this after first playing Dark Souls 1, but Ornstein is slow as heck when you get down to it. He is a pensive dude compared to Spearman in later titles. So the base game of Dark Souls 1 just doesn't really push you. and the DLC starts to push you, which is nice. When you get into Dark Souls 2, the DLC is more about kind of making corrections on the baseline experience. They have a different direction. So there's a very different feel, I think, to the level design and to some extent the item design. Not a huge extent, just a little bit. You just get a huge suite of relevant stat items, which are especially important for SL1 when you get to DLC in Dark Souls 2. I'm glad that counted as his back. I thought that was sketch. So you've got the Vessel Shield and Flynn's Ring. And the Ring of the Embedded. And all said, that comes out to quite a lot in terms of transforming your playstyle. In Dark Souls 3, the items that increase your stats aren't gated by the DLC, they're gated by the last area of the base game, which feels pretty good. You get a lot of variety in the game after you've gotten those items. And you can appreciate them for more time in the run. The DLC is very tuned around you having explored and found all of that stuff. And it's quite difficult, but it isn't really set apart in terms of how hard it is and how hard everything hits. In Bloodborne, the Old Hunters feels very set apart from the baseline game, but the thing that's very disheartening about the Old Hunters is that you get so very little for actually going through it. The biggest rewards for the Old Hunters are 2 weapons that we can't equip at this difficulty, at this challenge run. So we get access to the Milkweed Rune, the Beast Rune, the Beast Claws weapon, and the Cos Parasite weapon. There's also a couple of extra spells. So none of that helps our run. We get 10 discovery and about 12% attack power, and that is the entirety of how the SL1 changes. And that's a huge bummer. But it doesn't keep up with how much harder the bosses are. If I were going to go back and run BL4 ever again, I'd probably run it any percent. That amount of game was very fun. That'll kill me. The Old Hunters was interesting. I'm glad I beat some of those bosses. Some of the stratagems were cool to learn, but it was very frustrating, and I think I got very little out of it. I would have had more fun if I had done a limited level run and allowed myself for the Old Hunters to go up to maybe blood level 20 or something, so that I could choose to use another weapon at some point. I could try out the Whirligig Saw or play with Ludwig's sword. Okay, if I am out at the first possible opportunity, then I think I don't get hit by his uppercut setup. lot of stream delay right now. Okay. Oh, I avoided the rest of that. Cool. Yep, I was walking away, so that is lethal.
Be freed from the night.
Are my reactions dull? Might be. When I first sat down to this fight, I think I was avoiding the neckbreaker more often. My focus definitely waxes and wanes while I'm playing. I used a lot of that energy on the Laurence fight. That's dead again. There's a lot of waiting for him to attack, and it's annoying as heck. I get into a waiting pattern, then he actually does something, and I get completely messed up. There's a feeling of speed that comes from a boss executing its attacks very quickly, in the way that Gehrman does. I believe that's what they were going for, but I think it just feels jerky and awful. Ugh. It's very unfun that this guy will dodge out of your combo and then steps forward 4 boss lengths to kill you. And that's not about whether it's fair or unfair, it's just not very fun. It's a Bloodborne problem that you get killed by things that don't have a wind-up. Getting killed by the neckbreaker feels a lot like that. Or getting killed by a lot of his sword combos in phase 2. Or by the shotgun. They're all attacks that happen almost immediately with no telegraph or audio. And you just have to cope with it because it's Bloodborne and you can't wear armor. I can't get off 2 dodges in time for that. So if I'm damaged, that's pretty much lethal. Like, him going into that pattern is close to lethal if I'm damaged. I can get out of it if I counter. I think I just need to find out the gun counter setups. Let's get a little crazier. That time I had a proper counter.
You must accept your death.
Oh, that was actually a one-shot? Is that a different attack? No, that was his 2-attack combo. But it killed me in one. Huh. I didn't think that actually killed in one. He might have a different charge length for it. That was a very, very long charge. It was a long enough charge that I was trying to dodge the attack twice. Not again. I need to stand in the range to bait him to attack, and that attack is just enormous. I only need to kill the guy once. Okay, I'm still in the practice phase of this, is the way I need to think about it. So I think I could get him more consistently to phase 2 with my current skills by locking on, or by unlocking. But current skills is not the goal. I need to learn how to counter more of his attacks. I'm going to have to go for it a lot more in terms of the counter. This fight goes out of control very quickly. Dodged into that. And I should not have healed there. I should have gone for another counter. So after a neck breaker, I think I can generally backstep and then go for a counter shot most of the time. So it's after a basic swing, he's typically doing the tracking combo, and I can shoot him pretty preemptively on that. He goes into the second attack very quickly. It's 1,000 damage, it's pretty solid. That's how the first phase should be. Okay. I accidentally messed up my step-in transform when I got the counter on his long string. And then I messed up the timing on the shotgun, which is just going to happen a lot. But knowing that I can get a counter very reliably by buffering it in against some of his attacks in phase 1 is pretty good. I don't have to react to it, I can plan around it. That is huge. follow-up. That's okay. Timing was a little off. Spacing off. Shoot. Timing too early. Sometimes he gives me those multiple walking attacks. It's really nice. Okay, that's my chance to heal up. Ah, okay, that's the wind attack. I don't remember how to deal. I think I have to move close to him for that. Okay, so he actually starts phase 2 at 50%. I started at, well, phase 3 at 50%. I thought he started that at 30%. I'm gonna have to fight with that for a while then. But I think he's back down to phase 1 behaviors from there. Also, I think I'm supposed to be able to backstab him on his way into that phase if I stick close enough. I just have to not be damaged when that happens. Phase 2 should still be the biggest struggle, although I think he can go back into his curved sword phase should be the most trouble. I believe he can go into that phase while he's in phase 2, though. So once he's in phase 2, he can change between regular and trick mode freely. I am basically executing this phase by paying attention to almost nothing except for whether or not he's using Neckbreaker. Because everything else he does is slower, so I can react to that more individually once he's started to react, as long as I've confirmed that the attack is not the Neckbreaker. Okay, I didn't get the counter timing, but I played as though I had. I was only a little bit too early to actually get the counter timing. He was preparing to jump over me as well, which is theoretically something I could be trying to defend against differently or punish differently. But the rhythm I've got right now basically works, and I'd like to keep that going. This does tell me that over the course of several fights, I may also need to farm Quicksilver bullets, because we're very bullet dependent for this. That'll kill me. That's the same issue I was having before. I'm going to have that issue in phase 3 as well, so I need to know how to deal with that if he goes into that armor mode while I'm in his phase. Tricky. So if 1.3 times damage happening twice, 2.6 times damage is doing 1,000 damage to him. Then when I hit him with the 1.7 off of the 1.7 and then the break damage, if I can get the backstab proper on his transition, that's going to be big. Whoops. He's too close for me to do a dodge transform. Not my usual problem. There isn't actually such a thing as a too close, but it feels that way. Ah! There is a very small window for me to react to the shotgun blast. There's like a cocking the hammer noise. His posture change is very slight, but he's also got a posture change. Wi-Fi network connection lost on the PS4. Is that gonna affect the stream? The stream looks fine. And I'm not actually playing online, so it doesn't really matter. Let's see. Oh, I was able to get out of that. Wow, he is in a rude mood. There we go. Finally a lull. Oh, I didn't dodge through that. I haven't been hit by that part of the combo before. I didn't really know how to respond. But that's his 5 combo finishing with the shotgun blast. The little crucifix that was there actually messed me up. I guess it's just a cross rather than a crucifix. It's not tall enough to string somebody up on. Same, either way. These grave markers? I mean, these are like full-blown crucifixes. You could put somebody up on these. Anyway, it messed me up a good bit. So I couldn't continue to step around him. I see. If my backstep is preemptive enough, I'll be okay. Do not want you up against this wall. Really weird stuff. He stares at the moon. He's gonna explode. There's a lot of time for this. I don't know how much though. Healthy. He hasn't gone back to his scythe mode, which might be a result of me backstabbing him. Oh, dang it. I was locked into an animation. Okay. So that's a bit more of a look at his phase 2 behavior with both weapons out. I would prefer for him to transition back to the scythe. I think I have much better setups against the scythe. Everything I do against his curved sword mode is a crapshoot. And it seems as though in phase 2 he's got this quick step, quick lunge behavior with the curved sword that is different from what I'm currently reacting to. Yeah. Not quite preempted enough. Counter didn't work for mysterious reasons. Damage, 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 damage. Okay, so I'm having a problem with him doing that long combo, where my gunshot counter's whiffing entirely because he's on the move. I need to pick a specific timing relative to the combo to fire the shot, where I'm not going to just miss. Or I need to just let him finish the combo and dodge the gunshot at the end. It usually takes him performing about 2 attacks for me to understand that he's locked into the combo behavior. Ouch. Oh. The hitbox on that is going to come out weird a lot of the time, because I don't necessarily know if he's going to jump past me and over me, or if he's going to land in front of me. I think that has a set distance leap from what I'm gathering on that. It's hard to judge, though, where it's going to be. If I could predict him landing behind me, I think I can hit him with a full backstab, which will almost end the first phase. He doesn't have a lot of health, and the opportunities to hit him with backstabs and the like are few and far between. We get a lot of these critical hits. Come on, do a thing, do a thing. It's so antsy when he walks forward and does nothing. Didn't do a follow-up. Didn't dodge quite fast enough to get out of both of those. It's really tricky. Oh, we did do a follow-up, but I didn't read it right because my view was obscured. I mean, I read it, I preempted it, but I didn't realize I'd gotten something out of it. I assumed I'd just gotten a regular gunshot, which is worthless. Come on, do a thing. Empty gunshot. Almost got out of that. Please don't hang out at the wall. It's very, very difficult to handle you there. So, closing this gap is going to be really dangerous. Dang it. That's a late dodge on me. thankfully for that segment of the phase, for the curved sword phase, all I need to do is quick step forward and to the right, about on reaction. It needs to be very fast for his... what's it called? For the slashes, it needs to be a very fast quick step. For the shotgun, there needs to be a slight delay on it. Counters are working well this run. A little early on my dodge. And late on my dodge. Okay. I need to go farm again for Quicksilver bullets. So I am using them at a really good clip. Like a minimum of 5 per fight. And that's like just getting him to second phase. Curved sword phase. Second phase, curved sword phase. It is the second phase, but it's also kind of phase 1.5. It's a little murky there. Yeah, so we'll probably have to farm a bit more often for this boss fight. If I remember correctly, these bullets are cheaper than healing vials. But with our current handling of the fight, we're using bullets at a much faster pace. That's not really going to change either. It's just the way it is. Just fall down. No patience for like the last point of health one of these guys has. You know, a fight where I'm using the gun this often is also kind of enough to make me wonder if my blood gem on the gun is ideal, and I think it is. I believe that's the guaranteed story drop blood tinge droplet, which is something like 18% more blood damage. I think gun damage is also considered to be physical damage. So we might be able to improve it with a physical attack droplet. And here's a question. Is the gun subject to durability? It theoretically is, but I might be able to use my durability penalty gem on that, which is a pretty big attack boost. Maybe get a little stronger. I could also throw my blood rock on the gun. I mean, I suppose I'm almost done with the game, so like, why not? I haven't wound up using the blood rock on anything else, and unless I wanted to go for chalice dungeons, it doesn't matter very much. I failed to lock on. Yeah, I tried to hit the lock-on button there to pivot around to the back of the pig. I didn't get that to go through. Yeah, okay. I'm glad it just died, because that was going to get very tenuous with it kind of floating there. Okay, I'll pull this guy out so that if something goes wrong, I can recover my blood echoes more easily. There we go. Nice, easy blood vials. Just the way Mama made them. Ew. Gross. Mm. And now I want cookies. I'll be snowed in tomorrow. It's a good time to make cookies. I need to pick up... If I want to make some cookies, I need to pick up sugar. So, sugar and some basic herbs. I can make myself a chicken stock. And then maybe cookies tomorrow. I've got molasses if I want to make molasses sugar cookies. But my brown sugar's gotten hard. So if I get sugar, brown sugar, and poultry spices, as well as maybe an extra vegetable or two and some parsley, I can make some nice chicken stock. If I get Parmesan, I can do risotto. Sounds good. Weapon repairs. Weapon fortification. I'm just gonna max out the pistol. It's not even that much more damage. It's 9 more attack power off of a blood rock, which is the most absurdly limiting, expensive item in this stupid game. Oh, we've actually got 21.6 on this. We don't do much better than that. We can gain a maximum of 1 additional attack damage. That's not worth. And that's 3 extra depth. I guess a blood-tinged gem, like a cursed blood-tinged gem, would be the best outcome for the gun. It's highly unlikely that extra gun damage is going to be the difference. Okay, now we've got bullets for days. Highly unlikely, but every bit counts. I've killed bosses with guns in this game. Guns were very impactful against Ebrietas, and that's how I finished off the amygdala. The Tumerian descendant was killed by guns, but that was more to do with me interrupting everything he tried to do at all. Not bad dodge. That only worked out because he went for the jump instead of a regular punish. Got the heal. Whew. Dang it. Yeah, if I'm in front of him, he can extend the sword combo quite a lot. So it's very difficult for me to heal during that phase. It's actually, I think, easier for me to heal once he's in the angrier next phase. I think. He's got a couple attacks that take longer there. I also need to figure out my maximal punishment for when he decides to stare at the moon and explode, because he spends a lot of time just staring at the moon. I think it's enough for a charge attack transform, like an R2L1. It might be enough time to do something even spicier. I don't know. He's got armor through that whole segment. Yeah, with him going for the jump, I don't get the counter. But I did interrupt the jump, which is good. Need to be at full health because that retaliation is still getting me basically every time. On his jump in, if he lands in front of me, I think a left dodge works. Hearing sirens, I hope somebody's Well, something's probably hurt. I hope they can turn out okay. Depending on what he chooses to do, a lot of the time, I'll be strafed enough that it won't hit me. Like that. It's a bit of a silly phase. A little too early. That, I needed to wait for him to do something before dodging. His dodging around in third phase is psyching me out, and I need to not pay as much attention to the fact that he's dodging. Because in phase 2, I get attuned to dodging whenever he moves. But I shouldn't do that for phase 3. It does seem like getting the backstab on his phase 2 startup is skipping over the segment of him using the scythe, which is probably fine. I want the damage. I'm not gonna say no to the damage. I don't think there's anything I can do to force the scythe transformation. So if this is the way it is, it's the way it's gonna be. That'll get me. Can't get hit by that. I've got about half an hour left in terms of the time I wanted to spend. Let's see. And then it's sugar, brown sugar, poultry spices, parsley, maybe a turnip. I usually like a turnip in my stock. Then Parmesan for risotto. I handled that first attack wrong because I was thinking about making risotto. Oh, I don't have any onion. Need to get an onion too. 2 onions at least. Okay, got me, and I didn't get the visceral in response either to get my health back. Right, that's one of the attacks I counter. Come on, come on. I got the counter hit on that despite it being the jump, which tells me that I was too slow for the counter on the tracking hit. There we go. The attempt where I get the boss is always something sloppy anyways, right? Yeah, I'm not quite there in terms of getting this guy anyway. Once again, he stepped back, and I responded to that by stepping forward. Still wrong. Don't do it. Apple cider might be nice too. And I'm out of tea. I have a lot of groceries to do. I was going to do groceries earlier this week, but I didn't because it was snowy. And now it's going to be more snowy. So, I'm about to lose my chance. Yeah, seems dodge out on the left and we're fine for the leap. gunshot. I was being reactive instead of preemptive. That's a preemptive one, but it still came out slow because I think my initial dodge was a little late. Okay, I trusted my gunshot for no reason. I should not trust my gunshots. My gunshot never gets him out of that combo. I probably need to be trying to gunshot him just after the double cross slash when he's going into the single attack. I think that's when I'm likeliest to actually get the hit on him. Either that or I need to maybe square up with him more, like stand directly behind him. I don't know. I think only once I've gotten the counter off on that attack. And it was just with an errant gunshot. It just happened to hit. All these others are missing. If I had the shotgun out, that would probably hit him, but I don't want to be trying to change guns mid-fight. Not at this rate. I think my gunshot just went out in the middle of nowhere. Or I didn't finish pulling the gun. Actually, it used the bullet, so the fact that that didn't even shot trade, I think the shot missed. I hit the wrong buttons, and I got a worse punish. There's a nice, like, somber music to this. Yeah, I can't get hit by that. A lot of our other duels have been very epic, but this is just that nice, slow violin. It's cool. There are some weird things that are more vulnerable to gunshots. I think it has a tendency to do more damage against, like, Eldritch sorts of enemies. Ah. I got a bit disoriented there. There's kind of an absurd number of interactions that we have to buffer in for this fight. For instance, if he goes into the armored charge to the double slash, I have to buffer those dodges really aggressively to get out in time. I have to buffer both of them. A lot of the gunshots that I'm getting off, I buffer in after my dodge. For the next sweep, and if I'm in range of the single slash, both of those, I basically have to buffer the gunshot in. And then after the gunshot, I buffer the dodge and I buffer the transform attacks. Just hitting all the buttons about as fast as we can. Very unusual. he rolls forward, I can roll back. That was a mistake. He does square up with me before firing the shotgun blast, so even if he's in the middle of doing combo whatever, it's not safe for me to heal until I've dodged the shotgun blast. So that's why that's a mistake. That was a mistake. I just had to clarify why. Ugh. This is definitely one of those fights where we have to come fairly close to doing it perfectly. We have some leeway. We have very low... Okay, we have low blunt resist. We have a low blood resist here. Can we do better on that? If we're getting killed by gunshots, theoretically blood resist is the way to go. Let me try Jura's set, the Ashen Hunter. Or like... Yeah, because the Bone Ash actually has a weirdly low bullet defense. Or gun defense. Blood defense. Should we just wear the old Hunter garb? Doesn't seem remiss. Our head's gonna look goofy no matter what, it's just the way it is. Lead armbands. We're looking at mostly minor differences throughout. And honestly, the Ashen Hunter trousers look pretty cool. Yeah, there's not much difference with most of these. So we've already got 60 blood defense in these. Not really matching the defense profile of the rest of the set, which is a weird Bloodborne thing. I don't expect this to make a lot of difference in what one-shots us, but it might cause us to take somewhat less damage for getting clipped by a few shotgun shots. Like, that'll still kill us, obviously. Don't screw that up. But if I get hit by like half a shotgun blast, I'm hoping for a bit less damage. The armor choice was very impactful against Laurence because he had a lot of incidental amounts of fire damage that could randomly tag you. Had a lot of weak lingering fire hits, which is, for BL4, when armor's the most impactful. In Dark Souls, armor is very impactful, but you actually have a choice. You can input how fast your roll is. Okay, my first dodge made the trajectory of that difficult for me to read. I got. Alright, just about 15 more minutes of time. I think I'll do groceries on the way out because, yeah, I don't want to be doing groceries at like 10 o'clock. Pick up a coffee or a hot chocolate. I could pick up hot chocolates for multiple people. Be super nice about it. Let's focus on this guy for now. I was supposed to counter that, so it's good that he didn't follow up. My shot missed. Which I think is simply the shot being late. There I can actually heal. Please sit still. There we go. It's being very resilient to me putting him in a silly loop. On some of those big whiffs, I can forfeit damage to get a heal off. But it's got to be the big ones. Immediate. I think my answer on that, when he stares at the moon, is a just full string of basic attacks, probably. Just throw all my stamina at him, and then move on. I probably need to stop going for extra slaps after my backstab on the transition, and just let him go do something for a moment. That shotgun blast didn't have any different timing, I just got hit by it anyway. 10 minutes left. Sweet. I didn't buffer that out fast enough. That's death. I don't know why they decided to make your, like, rune cosmetic go away when you die. What does that matter? Is it important to show our face? Is there a lore implication? Seems weird. Very strange. Same setup, keeps happening. What? It's a good thing that sometimes he lets me circle him and just keep slapping him in this phase, because his actual openings are really annoying. By which I mean they, like, annoyingly don't exist. I dodged too early. And I went for an unsafe heal. He does the full combo with the shotgun ending. I dodge behind him and I can't even hit him before he dodges away again. That is something that I find a little confusing from a design perspective. Why would you design the boss to have no end time after a long string like that? Well, I got a little trolled. Looks like he was going for the leap, which is why I didn't get the counter off of my gunshot, and the fact that he went for the same attack immediately again really messed me up. I had buffered a dodge in to take advantage of the gun counter, which is bad. I can wait to confirm the gun counter. I don't actually need to buffer that. Since I'm not going for the visceral, I've got a pretty decent amount of time to get the attack I want off. To get the visceral, you from that distance, you basically do have to buffer it. You know, there is about enough time for me to get that if I react to it properly. So if he does jump over me, I can theoretically get the full-blown backstab. There it is! Nice, that's big. If I strafe that the whole time, I think the gunshot goes amiss. Oh, come on. Immediate step back gunshot. He's a trickster, man. He's tricky. He's a tricky guy. Part of me wonders if, in a certain transformed state, I might be able to hit the backstab on him while he's doing that big combo. Because the transformed backstab is this big sweep. Or rather, the transformed charge attack is this big sweep, and it is sometimes better at catching people from behind than the untransformed backstab. Range limits being what they are. Positioning was not right to land up behind him. Not when I dodged back. I think that was actually a weird case where I didn't need to move. That happened. I'm actually hoping the snow won't be too bad. Snowfall is not great, but when I especially don't like a whole bunch of snowfall when the temperature is fluctuating, so you wind up with ice on the roads because everything melts and refreezes. That's the worst. I like it when you have a few days with the temperature staying below freezing, so you get snow on the ground that sticks that people can play in and enjoy the scenery for without so much travel disruption because the roads are already taken care of. I didn't actually need to dodge there. He was taking care of it himself. Being a pal. That was maybe a bad heal. That's a fine heal. Yeah, rolling shotgun and rolling slash both have a lot of downtime for him. Those are actually like the moves that have downtime for him. Okay, so I can't just strafe that. I do have to dodge through it. I thought I might be able to, but then again, he was also stuck on the tombstones, which made his positioning a bit different. I think normally he would be carried further forward, and I might have been able to walk around it, but with him getting caught on the tombstones, I have to dodge that attack. You want to think with a Soulsborne game that if you react to an attack in the same way every time, you will be okay. But there's a lot of little things that can influence the actual trajectory of an attack. Sometimes it's about your exact angle relative to the boss. Sometimes it's about different factors of the terrain, an elevation change, or oftentimes the boss running into a wall. Bosses running into walls can cause their attacks to hit with very different positions and timings. If you're expecting that you'll be safe after dodging a charge attack, but that charge attack ends the boss up on a wall, he might be able to turn around and immediately continue attacking, as opposed to having distance if he didn't hit a wall. Yeah, we just want to take that on reaction when we can get it. I had a lot of panic dodges in there, but it's fine. Doesn't matter. After I dodged there, I'm like, I'm gonna take damage, but I know how much damage I'm gonna take, and it'll be okay. As opposed to winding up in the Wild Blue Yonder. Heal on that because it was a roll setup. That was too early. Again. Oof, that was really dangerous. Several classic examples of why you don't dodge backwards in this fight, but I really wanted to get a heal, and he was not giving it to me. That was a bad dodge, but I'm okay. Too early on that. Yeah, it's... Oh, I needed to... I went back in too early. One full stamina bar of attacks is probably about what I can get on that. I think I did less damage than usual. He's probably got damage reduction when he's prepping that attack. But yeah, he does that attack. One full stamina bar, out, and stay out. Don't go back in. Learn that. Cool. Alright, that'll be that for today. So, I think I'm going to get back to this for a stint on Sunday. And I have free time adequately to hopefully close out the game. I may try to change my recording method for Sunday to see if I can correct the audio problem. Thank you for bearing with that. Sorry. The other thing that's noteworthy is what I'm doing tomorrow. I think I may be trying Dead by Daylight again tomorrow. I've been taking a long time away from Dead by Daylight. I was very unsatisfied in a lot of ways. I understand there is a website now you can go to actually see your stats in the game. So I'm going to try that out and see what kind of stat tracking they have. I think Dead by Daylight has enough going on in a match that it really needs to have the same kind of very detailed stat tracking that you get with League of Legends. But nobody cares enough right now to build that for Dead by Daylight, and certainly not the developers. League of Legends, Riot Games has made all of that information available so that it can be scraped and replayed, and you can have these fantastic add-ons that really drill down into the details of the game, help you understand how well you're performing and maybe how to get better. Which is really handy. Like, There's a lot of problems with League of Legends, mostly the community, but that is really good for them to have accomplished. Dead by Daylight needs that. It is a very fussy, particular, sweaty game at like higher brackets of play, and those brackets of the game are not fun. Uh, there's no casual mode. You can't go casual. It's each party walks into the room, and if one of them is really there to win and the other isn't, you're not going to have a good time. If both parties are really there to win, you can have a really good game. If both parties are there to chill, you can have a really chill game. But you don't get to choose where you're queuing. There's no casual mode. There's no like different thing. There's no ARAM. I think that's what the game needs to grow in terms of how much fun you're having. But it's kind of a game that I think exploded and is enjoying popularity beyond its depth right now. So other offerings in the genre coming out later this year might displace it. We've got VHS on the way. We've got Dragon Ball Z The Breakers, which is maybe not the same flavor, but it's the same genre and looks really fun. We'll see what happens with that. But for tomorrow, currently I'm planning on playing Dead by Daylight unless there's some other kind of spooky-ish game offering for like our little Freaky Friday. Anywho, thank you for tuning in. This has been Jupiter Exile. Hope we wander again soon. Good night.